Welcome to Sunny's Mindset Lab. Today's topic is the book 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do by Amy Morin. We're going to dive into how building resilience isn't always about what you start doing, but about having the courage to stop doing the things that are really holding you back.
So, let's get right to the heart of this book's big idea. You know, we're always told to add things to our lives to get better, right? Meditate more, exercise more, read more. But what if the biggest breakthroughs come not from what we add, but from what we have the strength to subtract? That's the core concept we're going to unpack today.
But to really grasp the power of this list, we have to understand where it came from. This isn't just some collection of self-help tips. It's a lifeline, really. It's a testament to resilience that was forged in profound personal loss.
Just look at this timeline for a moment. It's a staggering amount of loss in such a short period of time. At only 23, Amy lost her mother. Just 3 years later, her husband of 3 years died from a heart attack. And then, soon after that, her new father-in-law was diagnosed with terminal cancer. I mean, a series of losses like that would push anyone to their absolute limit. And it was right in the middle of all of this overwhelming grief, that she first wrote down the list that would eventually become this book. But here's the thing. She wasn't writing it for her therapy clients, or for you and me. She wrote it for herself. It was her personal playbook, a reminder of the mental traps she needed to avoid to keep moving forward, to choose strength when despair felt so much easier.
So this really begs the question, right? What even is mental strength? It's a phrase we throw around a lot, but Amy Morin's experience gives it a really clear and practical definition.
See, mental strength isn't about just gritting your teeth and being tough, and it's definitely not about suppressing your emotions. It's an active, ongoing skill. It's about being able to regulate your emotions, manage your thoughts, and choose your behaviors, especially when life is throwing its worst at you. It's something you practice.
And it's really built on these three deeply connected pillars: our thoughts, our behaviors, and our emotions. They all feed into each other. Think about it. If you have the thought, "I'm totally going to bomb this presentation," you start to feel anxious. And that feeling of anxiety might cause you to procrastinate, which is a behavior. To really build mental strength, you have to work on all three.
All right, so let's just clear the air and bust some common myths right now. First off, it is not about just acting tough. It's about being genuinely resilient from the inside. It's also not about ignoring your feelings. It's about paying attention to them and learning from them. It's not the same as just thinking positive all the time either. It's about being a realistic optimist. And this one is so important. It does not mean you have to do everything by yourself. Asking for help is a sign of incredible strength.
Okay, so now that we have a solid definition, let's get into the real meat of the book, those habits we need to break. These are the mental traps that just drain our energy and keep us completely stuck. All right, first up is a huge one, and it's something we've all done: wasting time feeling sorry for ourselves. The book describes self-pity as being like emotional quicksand. You know, it might feel a little comforting for a moment to wallow in it, but it just pulls you down deeper and deeper and makes it impossible to move forward. And this really shows you the two paths you can take, right? On one side, you've got self-pity, which just magnifies everything that's wrong and sucks up your mental energy. But on the other side, you have gratitude. And gratitude is the antidote. It's not about pretending the bad stuff isn't there. It's about consciously choosing to also see the good. And that simple shift can change everything.
There's this incredible story in the book that just perfectly captures this idea. It's about a little boy named Jack who was hit by a school bus. Instead of treating him like a fragile victim, his therapist completely reframed a story. She turned him into a superhero who actually won a fight with a school bus. I mean, how powerful is that? That little shift helped him and his parents focus on his incredible strength instead of just his injuries.
Okay, habit number 2 is about something we do all the time without even realizing it. We give away our power. This is what happens every time we let another person or some random circumstance control how we feel, how we think, and how we see ourselves. It's literally like handing someone else the remote control to your own mind.
So, what does that actually look like? Well, when you're giving away your power, you're basically a passenger in your own life. You blame your boss for your bad day, or you rely on likes on social media to feel good about yourself. But when you retain your power, you're in the driver's seat. You take responsibility for your own reactions. You realize that while you can't control what other people do, you are always in control of how you respond.
The book gives this great example of a woman named Lauren who spent so much time complaining to her husband about her difficult mother-in-law.
But what she eventually realized was that every minute she spent complaining was a minute she was allowing her mother-in-law to control her happiness. She was letting her live rent-free in her head.
And that's a really good question to ask yourself right now. Seriously, take a second. Where in your life are you giving away your power? Who or what are you allowing to have the remote control to your emotional state? Is it a difficult coworker, the morning traffic, an old grudge? Just knowing the answer is the first step to taking that power back.
Habit number 3. Oh man, this is one I think we can all relate to. It's shying away from change. We are creatures of comfort, right? We love to cling to what's familiar, even when we know deep down it's not working for us anymore. But avoiding change isn't playing it safe. It's a guaranteed way to get stuck.
But here's something that can really help make change feel less scary. It's understanding that it's a process, not some giant single leap. We all go through these 5 stages, from not even seeing the problem, to thinking about it, to getting ready, to finally doing it, and then keeping it up. Knowing these steps makes the whole thing feel so much more manageable.
And this quote really hits at home, doesn't it? We're so focused on what could go wrong if we change, but we forget to ask, what's the cost of staying exactly where we are? You know, personal growth, it just can't happen in our comfort zone. A life without change is usually a life without much growth.
Okay, so we've talked about what not to do, but how do we actually put all this into action? How do we build and maintain this mental muscle? Well, the most crucial point is that mental strength is just like a physical muscle. It has to be exercised consistently to stay strong.
So let's break it down into a few simple, actionable things you can start doing today. Instead of getting stuck in self-pity, make gratitude a daily habit. To take back your power, change your language from "I have to do this" to "I am choosing to do this." Learn to set healthy boundaries. Focus your energy only on what you can actually control. And look at change with curiosity, not fear. These are the real building blocks.
And this is maybe the most important thing to remember. Building mental strength, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Just like you can't go to the gym once and be fit forever, you can't just read about this stuff. It requires daily, ongoing practice. You're going to have good days and bad days, and that's perfectly okay. The goal here is progress, not perfection.
So I want to leave you with one final question. A challenge, really. After everything we've talked about, what is the one single thing you are going to stop doing starting right now? Because as we've learned, sometimes the most powerful step forward you can take is deciding what to leave behind.